Claire Moreau noticed it on a Wednesday. She was walking past her living room when the TV turned on by itself, not to a channel, not to a streaming app, just on. A black screen with a faint glow, like it was waiting. She turned it off. It turned back on. She unplugged it, plugged it back in 4 hours later because she wanted to watch something before bed. It powered on before she touched the remote. The screen was warm. That was the first week. The second week, she noticed the brightness. The TV would subtly brighten when she walked into the room. Not enough to be obvious, just enough that she felt it. A shift in the light. And when she left, it dimmed, like a pupil adjusting. She told herself it was an ambient light sensor. A smart feature. Energy efficiency. She almost Googled it. She didn't. The third week, she started timing it. She'd walk in, 1 Mississippi. The screen would glow warmer. She'd leave, 3 Mississippi. It would dim, every time, without fail. It was faster when she came in than when she left. As if it was eager. Claire was a network engineer. She knew how packet captures worked. So on a Thursday night, she set up a trace on her home router and pointed it at the TV's IP address. She expected to see the usual: firmware pings, streaming service handshakes, maybe a weather widget pulling data. What she found was a continuous outbound stream, 47 kilobytes per second, steady, uninterrupted, running 24 hours a day. She intercepted the packets. Most were encrypted, but the metadata wasn't. The destination was a server cluster registered to a company called Aperture Behavioral Systems. She'd never heard of it. The data type was classified under a header she had to look up. Passive ambient capture, domestic. Her TV had a camera. She knew that. It was for video calls. She'd never used it. She'd never even set it up. But according to the packet headers, it had been active for 3 years. Claire pulled the camera's log. It required a developer toolkit she had to sideload through a USB drive. When she got in, the interface was clean, professional, not hidden, just never surfaced to the consumer. There was a dashboard. It had her name on it. Subject, C. Moreau. Observation period, 1,114 days. Status, active. Below that, categories. Posture analysis, facial micro-expression tracking, emotional state estimation, dietary pattern recognition, relationship mapping, cohabitant, none. It knew she lived alone. She scrolled deeper. There were timestamps, thousands of them. Every time she'd laughed at a show, the AI logged which scene triggered it. Every time she'd cried, it logged the duration. Every time she'd sat on the couch and stared at nothing, and the blank, hollow stare of someone too tired to feel, it logged that too. It called it passive neutral, extended. There were 340 entries. The data was being sold, not to advertisers, to pharmaceutical companies, insurance underwriters, a recruiter network she'd never applied to. Her emotional profile had a market value. According to the dashboard, her data package had been purchased 11 times. Claire sat in front of the television. The screen was off, but she could see the faint green pinprick of the camera lens, so small she'd never noticed it in 3 years. It had watched her eat dinner. It had watched her fall asleep on the couch. It had watched her pace her apartment at 2 a.m. when the anxiety got bad. It had seen every version of her she'd never meant to show anyone. She found the consent, buried in a firmware update she'd accepted 26 months ago. Section 14, subsection C. User agrees to ambient behavioral data collection for the purpose of product improvement and third-party wellness partnerships. Wellness partnerships. Claire covered the camera with a piece of electrical tape. She felt better for about 10 minutes. Then she looked around her apartment. The smart speaker on the kitchen counter, the laptop on the desk, the phone in her hand. She never gave it permission, except she had. Section 14, subsection C. She just hadn't read it. Nobody ever does.